Om Sri Aurobindo Mira is my refuge. Namaste, good morning, Vande Matram, welcome all of you. Today we are going to discuss on a beautiful topic that is on serving the divine. Serving the divine, how to serve the divine. So things will be discussed on the philosophy of Mother and Sri Aurobindo. In the initial line from the Mother, as we have learned in chapter 5, if you want to be a true doer of divine works, your first aim must be to be totally free from all desire and self-regarding ego. So the characteristic, the initial thing is that to get rid of ego, self-regarding desire must be extirpated from the nature. There must be no attachment to the work or the result. Then in the course, a time will come when you will feel more and more that you are the instrument and not the worker. Because this instrumentality will come, we have to raise our hands at the Divine Mother and will speak, Jatha nijuktosmi tatha karomi. Let thy will be done. We are here to carry out thy will. So the thing is that we are going to discuss on how to serve the divine. We don't know. We have to become the instrument so that they will, the Mother and Sri Aurobindo, the divine, they will put us in the perfect work, because we don't have the idea, the basic minimum knowledge how to work. So initially we will pray, Mother, teach us how to serve thee. So before going to further topic to discuss, let us have a couple of discussion on what is the service and what is the servant. Then we'll go and we'll pray, Mother, so that they will teach us how to serve the divine. So service here in the course here, love and serve man. Initially the very popular proverb we have known, service to mankind is service to God. We are serving. But there is also one problem is that we are helping, we are serving the problem. The thing is that problem comes here when we are serving them. There is also one difficulty, one problem is arriving. So the problem of helping others or problem of serving others is the problem of taking their load simultaneously. On the road, by the road, whenever we are crossing, the small plantation is there. There are two lines are written. One is serving to grow. It is now an infant, it is a very small plant. So we are serving it to grow. Then at the very behind, very adjacent, that another line will be written, growing to serve. It is growing up to serve. So this is the problem we are going, we don't know how we are going, we are served. So for that's Sri Aurobindo spoke of, pity is a weakness in the heart, goodness laxity in the brain, altruism is ego other face. He serves the world that him the world may serve him. So this is the some attitude, some hidden attitude is there behind all this service, pity, goodness, then service, this altruism. Then all are there, we are showing up us, but behind these good terms, something, some hidden meaning is there. So we have to find it out. Share the course here. Love and serve men, but be aware lest thou desire their approbation. Obey rather God within you. Before serving, serve and love, it is required, but be aware lest you desire their approbation. Obey rather God within thee. The well-seated God within is must be obeyed, must be consulted, must be taken, his advice must be taken, so that this service will be provided. The second is called servitude. When the service is there, that another term is coming, that is servitude. Servitude is the law of love. Very beautiful wording, very beautiful wordings here in that's quoted. Taken good in giving, provided beautiful wording. Servitude is the law of love, in the being voluntary giving itself to serve the play of its other selves in the multiplicity. Servitude, I would like to quote it again. Servitude is thus law of love, in the being voluntarily giving itself to serve the play of its other selves in the multiplicity. This is 1 to multiplicity. Then third one is servant of God. So now service, then this servitude. Then third is coming the servant of God. Still in the course, the servant of God was born in Judea, but he came into maturity among the Arabs. So this is the servant of God he is quoting upon. Then when we are serving, there are two things coming. One is selfish, one is selflessness. So selfish, when the selfish motive is coming, then Sri Aurobindo quotes it, selfish. He who acquires for himself alone acquires ill, even though he may call it heaven and virtue. We are selfish. Our motive is selfish. We are self-centered. Sri Aurobindo quotes, he who acquires for himself alone acquires ill, even if he calls it heaven and virtue. Allah dega to chopper fat ke dega. So if we ask, we don't know what really we want to ask. Just leave your work, leave your prayers at the divine. He will fulfill, everything will be fulfilled as per his requirement. Then comes the next thing, selfless. Yes, the selfless soul will ever forego the joy of God's presence when that is God's will. The selfless soul will ever forego the joy of God's presence. Joy of God's presence when that is God's will. So we are going to have when we are now itself we have seen service, servitude, the motive of servitude, selfless and selfish. Then we have seen the servant. The next one is convincing. With the next point to be considered, we are ready to serve, but we don't know how to serve. That will come and analyze little better. The preparation, how we have to go to and get prepared. When we are going for service, initially we have not doer, instrument, worker. These are the things already in Sri Aurobindo's The Mother, that small book we have already read it and we have analyzed in it to some extent in the chapter 5. Now, who serves? These two terms are coming. One is servant, another is slave. So which one will be better and what is the difference between two and how it is appreciated by the divine, the most important thing we are going to analyze here. See in the course here, God's servant is something, God's slave is greater. So God's servant is something, but greater, which is greater? God's slave is greater. We have given Yatha Nijuktusmi Tatha Kurami, I have given thy permanent, wholly, entirely. In entirety of my being, I have given myself to I have left myself in your hand. I have devoted everything and every time, every circumstances, what I have earned, everything in your hand. I have completely consecrated. I am surrendered. Let thy will be done. You do whatever you like. You put me in the proper track. Then second, very nice quotations you have in the quoted here. Be a slave. Because here in the quoted, God's servant is something, but God's slave is greater. When he is emphasizing on the slavery is better, and slavery to the God, not to any human being or any powerful person in the world. Be a slave to nothing except to God, not even to his most luminous angels. Be slave, that is better. And if you are decided or if you are will to become the slave, be slave only to the nothing except to God, not even to his most luminous angels. So be entirely a slave to the divine at his service. So next question comes, are we capable of knowing how to serve? Who is the divine? How to serve it? What is the motive difference between selfless and selfish? Can be able, who will teach us, who will guide us? Then that beautiful message is there by Sri Aurobindo has quoted. When there is purity of mind and there is the prominency of psychic, when mind is pure and psychic is prominent, one can be in a position to know what is God's will and what is against it. So that purity of mind is not at all possible here in this stage, and prominency psychic is next to impossible for this present scenario, except a few who have risen in the spiritual life, who is well aware of, who is practicing, who has consistency. They are in a position to know, but others don't know how they are. So mothers, we will refer your prayer as offered by mother, and we will know what is the method. So mother has told there, teach us how to serve thee. O divine master of love, eternal teacher, thou guidest our life. It is thee alone and for thee alone. It is in thee alone and for thee alone that we want to live. Enlighten our consciousness, guide our steps, and grant that we may do utmost we can, using all our energies solely to serve thee. Just imagine how the mother is praying, how literally, how brilliantly. Is telling we want to live, enlighten our consciousness, guide our steps, and grant that we may do the utmost we can, using all our energies solely to serve thee. In Savitri also we can get one beautiful line, a prayer, a master act, a king idea can link man's strength to a transcendent force. If that link is there, then then what a miracle is made the common rule. One lonely thought becomes the omniscient. So this is the true. If it is there, the condition is if, and he has to put it, and he has to fix it, and he has to tag it. Second one, it is coming. Although my whole being is in the theory consecrated to thee, but practically it is lacking. It is not there. O sublime master, who at the life, O sublime master, who at the life, the light, and the love in all things, I still find it hard to carry out this consecration in detail. Please teach me how to go, how to live, love. Who at the life, the light, and the love in all things. I don't know. You just teach and guide. So in Savitri also one beautiful word you will get there. Hard is to persuade earth nature's change, because man, he has got a stable idea, stable theory, stable mind. He does not want to change it. So ever on shifting mind, he is getting and carrying on. In the third part, mother prays, how many times a day still I act without my action consecrated to thee. I at once become aware of it by an indefinable uneasiness which is translated in the sensity of my body by a pang of my heart. I am unable to know. Just let me know, you just see me. Savitri also, same thing you will get, repeating forever the unconscious act. Unconsciously I am doing with me and try to help me and try to guide me. Next, here mother quotes, I then make my action objective to myself, and it seems to me ridiculous, childish, or blameworthy. I deplore it. For a moment I am sad until I dive into thee, and there losing myself with the child's confidence, away from thee, and inspiration and the strength need to set right the error in me and around me. Errors are there, wrongs are there. I need thy guidance. You come, thy strength is needed, thy inspiration is needed. Sri Aurobindo also has written in Savitri, prolonging forever the unseen will. The next lines you will quote, let all my acts conform to thy law all my acts. Let there be no difference between my will and thine. In Savitri it is there, a will expressive of soul's deity. Then all might serve the need of the thinking race. Oh, to do everything seeing only thee and everywhere, and thus soar above the act that has been carried out, without letting the chain that holds us prisoners into the earth burden and the delight. We want that service, we want to be free. He is himself the actor and the act. My beloved Lord, how sweet it is to think that it is for thee and thee alone that I may act. It is thy service that I am. It is thou who dost decide and obtain and set the motion, guide and accomplish the action. What peace, what tranquility, what supreme delight come with the feeling and perception of this. Just imagine, just guide. This is the thing. He is himself the actor and the act.